first guest tonight is an exceptionally talented writer, director, and actor whose resume includes the supervillains Lex Luthor and Mark Zuckerberg. He wrote, directed, and stars in an excellent movie about cousins. It's called A Real Pain. It's on Hulu now. Please welcome Jesse Eisenberg. You live in New York, right?
Yes, but I was able to fly out here.
Oh, on a plane?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to do a boat, but they said the canal would take too long to be on the show. Yeah.
Well, once we're going to reclaim that canal, and don't worry, it will be a go-by like that.
Exactly. If this was next week, I think I could do the canal. But they wanted me here the day after.
Are you a good traveler? Are you good on...
I'm a fine traveler. I mean, I'm not, like, in general, like a fine person. Like, you know, going through normal stuff. I don't excel, but, you know, maybe traveling's an exception, you know, because a lot of people are nervous travelers, but because I know there's nervous people on the plane, for some reason, it comforts me.
Oh.
You know, as opposed to, like, the rest of life, when I'm sitting around, like, you know, self-actualized, comfortable people, and I'm a wreck.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the tension you experience from others makes you maybe feel like you're part of a community, or?
Yes. I find if I'm with other paranoid people, I'm the comfortable one.
Interesting.
But if I'm in a group with normal people, I'm the weirdo. Yeah.
It makes sense because you know, like when you're at home and like something happens and like one of you's mad and the other one's not. It's like you don't have to get mad because the other one's mad.
It's exactly that.
Yeah.
And my wife was angry last week, and I remember thinking like, this is a great week, you know, because I was standing up straighter. I took care of the kid. It's going to be okay, honey, you know, because I had to be the kind of calm, collected person.
Do you go on vacations and that sort of thing?
Not in the way that people think of vacation. I don't like vacations because, you know, I feel too guilty to go on a vacation. You know, I have a very good life. I got like, to be a movie actor, it's like I won the lottery every day for the last 41 years. I feel so lucky. So, and I travel for my work, you know what I mean? And so I feel guilty like going on a vacation where you like, you know, I just want to like lay back on the bed. Like I can't do that because I'm riddled with guilt. So what I do is I go, like the places I've traveled to are basically like, you know, this movie is about these guys who go on like a Holocaust tour. Those are the travels I do. Like the last vacation we went to, the last two vacations I went to, one was to a concentration camp in Austria, and then, laugh it up, Jimmy. And I know that gets you all you get tickled by that. And then the next one we went to with my family, you know, I got an 8-year-old. We went to Timișoara, Romania, which is the site of like where the revolution against Ceausescu happened. Those are my...
You brought the kids to that?
One kid.
Oh, okay.
You know,
right.
If we had two, obviously it'd be off limits.
Way, yeah.
No. It's too depressing. No. No, but like, it was amazing. I explained to my kid, you know, what happens here, not like violence, or I just explained, like, yeah, there was a dictator here. It was an amazing trip. And this city is amazing and beautiful and everything. But that's the only time I could like go on vacation and not hate myself.
Wow. Yeah. Are you transferring this to your child, do you feel? Are you...
Amongst so many other horrible things.
Yeah.
Including perhaps Tay-Sex.
What?
Oh, that's a Jewish genetic disorder joke. But,
okay.
Yeah. It's gonna kill in certain...
I was wondering why Guillermo was cracking up over there.
Guillermo, and then your Brooklyn local...
He knows his Jewish genetic disorders like nobody else.
It's a great joke, but it's specific.
It is a great joke now that I get it.
Yeah.
But...
So all Jewish couples, they have to get tested for Tay-Sex, so they make sure they don't pass it on. That's why it's funny.
I see. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now I'm embarrassed. You had to explain the joke to me. But I'm also imagining that this is what it's like to vacation with you.
Yeah. It's like this. Yeah.
Like, is your son, your daughter, or what?
Yeah, my son, yeah.
Does your son ever say, hey, can we go to Disney World this time?
Oh, no, we haven't told him about that.
No, he doesn't know about that?
No. I went to Disneyland during his lifetime without him.
Without him?
Yeah. Because I was doing something in like Shanghai, and they took me to Shanghai Disney. And I told him about it, and he said it sounded interesting, but when are we going back to Rwanda?
That must make you very proud.
Yeah.
Were you like that when you were a kid?
Yes, I hated vacations when I was a kid. But not because I felt guilty, more just because I was like, so I had this like, I hated school so much and everything, and like, every time the school ended, like Friday, I was more scared than even Sunday night because I knew the weekend I'd be thinking about school. And so like when school ended, June 16th every year, I would be so paranoid because I knew the entire summer is going to be thinking about September 8th. You know what I mean?
Sadly, I know exactly
Isn't that
what
awful?
you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm more terrified of like anticipating the bad thing than the bad thing coming.
Then the bad thing itself.
Yeah, and then like school's there and I'm like there and I'm miserable and everything, but like it can get worse.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Wow. Were you bullied in school? Why do you?
I wish. No. I always wished there was like some concrete thing I could go home and say like, no, somebody beat me up. But like everybody was nice to me, I was just miserable.
Did you do drugs or anything like that?
I should have. No.
No, huh? Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
no. I graduated from Performing Arts High School in Manhattan, and that was great. And we did drugs there. But growing up,
What kind of drugs did you do there?
well, one of my friends did acid every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the park. In the park.
Is he still with us?
He was my friend at the time. I haven't spoken to him. But
Is he probably still in the park?
we smoked pot in the park. You know.
Oh, you did? Okay.
At lunchtime. That's right.
And was that good? Did that calm you down or make you enjoy?
It doesn't like calm me, but I was funny. I mean, I guess I would say I was like, it made me like want to make jokes. I don't know if I was funny, but like it made me want to be funny.
Did you do the Tay-Sock joke there in the park?
You know, I've been trotting that one out for a long time, yeah. That's in my holster. And if I'm around somebody like you or a crowd like this, I pull it out because it's so accessible.
Well, I was going to ask you about your family.
Yeah.
But I feel like I should wait now because this movie, which I thought was just great, by the way, is about a relationship between cousins, which is an area that I think has gone unexplored.
Oh, thanks.
Like not since My Cousin Vinny, I think, has there been a cousin-related movie.
Yes.
So when we come back, we'll take a look at the movie. It's called A Real Pain. Jesse Eisenberg is here. We'll be right back.
Used to tell me that, like, you know, first-generation immigrants work some, like, menial job. You know, they drive cabs, they deliver food. Second generation, they go to good schools, and they become, like, you know, a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. And the third generation lives in their mother's basement and smokes pot all day. I mean...
She said that?
I think she was, like, just speaking generally about, like, the immigrant experience.
I lived in my mom's basement.
She was just talking about immigrants.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
That is Kieran Culkin and Jesse Eisenberg in A Real Pain, which you can see on Hulu now. Now, Kieran plays your cousin Benji.
Yeah.
Or your character's cousin Benji.
Yeah,
Is this based on a real cousin?
No.
Okay.
No, my cousins don't drink that much. No, you know.
It's not. Did any of your cousins like check to see if it was based on them?
Yes, they all checked. They all checked.
Oh, they did. Yeah.
The women, the men, the old, the young. Yeah. Second
Did any
cousins.
of them really? Were they convinced that?
No, they were just like, "This is not me, is it?" You know, this kind of thing. They texted me, but I could tell that was their voice. You know.
Were
like-
any of them? Do you think any of them were disappointed that the cousin wasn't based on them?
Probably not. Because like the movie is like goes to some pretty dark places, so they were probably relieved.
It does, and the dynamic between you and Kieran, you're both great in the movie. I don't know Kieran, and I met you a couple of times. We don't really know each other, but it seems to me like there was like there may have been a real dynamic between the two of you.
Totally. Like so, yeah. Like Kieran, first of all, he's like so brilliant in the movie. He's like, you know, winning every award. He's like a genius in the movie.
Right.
And but his character is like really kind of like unpredictable, spontaneous. He has like big, extreme emotional swings. So he'll be like really furious at one point and then just elated and charming the next. And that's kind of like Kieran. And like my character is really like, you know, pre-planning everything and more introverted. And it's more like me. The weird thing was we were just exactly like that in the movie. Like I had written the script 2 years ago, so it was like deep in my head, and I was preparing to direct it for, you know, a year or whatever, so I knew every shot. And Kieran would show up every day and ask me like, hey, what scene are we doing today? Which is like, you don't want to be asked that question, you know, by the guy who has like 5 pages of dialogue, you know, in 10 minutes. And so I'm like, oh, we're doing the scene on the train, you have 5 pages of dialogue. And he'd be like, oh, that's so funny, can I see it? And I was like, you mean the script? He's like, yeah, can I see your script? I don't have mine. I was like, sure. So I show him the script. He looks at it. I'm not joking. He looks at it for like a minute, and he goes, oh, okay, I'm good. And then he'd be word perfect and brilliant. And so I don't know how he does it. He's a genius. And then we found out, like, towards the end of the movie, we got a call from, like, his hotel, like, hey, is Kieran okay? Like, he's sleeping on his floor, we think. His mattress is in the bathroom. Like, and so I think he was, like, kind of living in the spirit of the part, but just not, like, telling everybody about it. You know, like, most actors, if they do any work at all, you know, go on shows like this and be like, so tough, man. I was just living in the... Oh, sorry. It was an impression of somebody who would say that word, you know?
Right, sure.
You know, but like they tell you about it, you know, and Kieran's like so unpretentious. So he was like living in the spirit of this guy and just never talking about it.
Is it possible that Kieran is watching this interview right now and going, no, I wasn't in the character. I'm just weird. I was in the...
Yeah. He probably would say that. That's how unpretentious he is. He won't even take credit.
And then you have the added responsibility of him not just being your scene partner, but you're the writer and director of the movie, so you really need to make sure everything is right. You've got a lot riding on this.
Exactly.
You're his boss in a lot of ways.
It didn't feel that way.
Yeah, right. He made sure of that.
In the movie, he kind of like torments me, and he's constantly like manhandling me and punching me and all this stuff, and he took to that really easily. And he would just make fun of me all the time. Like his character in the movie kind of makes fun of me, but like he would just do that. So I'd be like setting up a shot with like one of the great Polish cinematographers, you know, this hallowed thing, setting up the shot, thinking about color palette, and he comes over and goes, "What are you doing? You doing your film school shot now?" And like, this was every day, so I just walked around feeling like such a loser on this movie that like I should have felt good about, you know.
He broke you down.
He broke me down, and he was so good in the movie, so I didn't want to like rock the boat by telling him to stop.
Yeah, right.
Like, or just to be nice, because I thought maybe this is his process.
Is it hard to be the director of a movie that you're in?
Yeah, because I also like I don't watch myself in movies. I haven't seen myself in a movie in a long time because I'm probably not that unusual. Maybe it sounds I'm really neurotic, but actually a lot of actors don't do that.
I find that a lot of times when I have guests on the show and we show the clip in the studio, they lower their heads and they look away. They don't want to see them.
Exactly. So that was me for so many years, and then I'm in the shots and like I just kept trying to avoid close-ups on me because I just didn't want to like really be in the movie. And so like, you know, I have these, my producers, one of whom is the actress Emma Stone, you know, who like, she knows a thing or two about a close-up. You know, so my producers would just be like, you have to turn the camera onto your face now. And I'm like, could I be behind the wall? And they're like, you got to be in front of the wall.
So Emma is there with you looking
Yeah, she's a producer of the movie. She's standing with the headphones.
I thought producers do nothing. I didn't know that producers did anything.
A lot of them do nothing.
She's there working on the movie with you.
Yes.
And she says you got to be, and from her, it's good, you know, you listen.
Good advice, yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. And she was also good with notes. She told me to stop moving so much, for example.
Really?
Yes, in an elevator scene, I was moving too much. Turns out that when Emma Stone stands in an elevator, she's pretty calm.
Yeah, she does, So now the Oscar nominations come out tomorrow. Are you thinking about that?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. You know, I like don't look myself up on the internet in like perpetuity ever. But I found because all these award shows, it's not the Oscars, like yes, but like there've been like 50 award shows up until now. There's critics around the world, BAFTA, et cetera. And so like I started like reading stuff online, which is like my kryptonite, you know, and like I only can compare it to like smelling my armpit, which is like I hate how my armpit smells, and yet I find myself like smelling it sometimes, you know. And that's what reading about this stuff is online. I hate reading this stuff. I can't believe I'm like a father of a person. I have responsibilities. I'm in my 40s, and I find myself Googling awards predictions like an idiot. I'm so embarrassed.
And they look pretty good. They look pretty good. So take a deep breath of that armpit right now.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
And the movie's great.
Thanks.
No matter what the awards say.
Thanks a lot.
Jesse Eisenberg, everybody. The movie's called The Real Pain. It's on Hulu now. We'll be back with Danielle Deadweiler.